Day 70. So I decided to use a different filter today because the one I normally use in this lighting, it made me look like a ghost, like way too pale. So I just wanted to just show a little bit more of my actual skin color. So this was like the closest to one that I liked, that didn't make me look crazy tan, because there's ones that make you look crazy tan, and then there's these other ones that like make your lips look ginormous. So I don't even know. So anyways, this is day 70 of 365 days live. Unreal. I've done 70 live videos so far, and I'm still like, what? I've done it so far, and I still have things to talk about. Who would have known? Anyways, that's what happens when you do it in divine timing. So today I actually want to talk about the signs from like the universe, or signs from your ancestors, and how can you like kind of pay attention to that, and how can you decipher it? Because I find our external environment, there's a lot of signs that we are shown by the universe, and our spirit guides and our ancestors, like that is how they communicate with us. And it is sorry, I lost my train of thought. And it is interesting because this is where you can tap into the breadcrumbs and see what it is that you are being shown, and how to sometimes get to that next step. And so in the beginning, when I first started like wanting to pay attention, like I found it really difficult because it was something I was not used to doing. I never really paid attention to my environment. I just like went on, did my life, like went to work, did my job and whatnot, and hung out with friends, and that was it. But then once I started paying attention to my environment, sorry, my hair's a little bit everywhere. Once I started paying attention to my environment, and noticing the signs that the universe is sending, especially when they're repetitive, there's usually a message. So what do I mean by like those kind of signs? It could be anything really, but in my stories, I had shared that I've seen a crack 3 times. So there was like a crack in my windshield, and there was a crack in my Vitamix blender container, and then there was a crack in this mug that I went to put tea in. I just put the tea in, and then I noticed a puddle, and I was like, why is there a huge puddle around the cup? And then I saw the crack, and I was like, that's the 3rd time I've seen the crack. There's a message here. There's a meaning behind, like something behind this. And so it could be like that, anything that's repetitive. So maybe see an animal, a specific animal 3 times, especially an animal that you've never seen. Like, for example, you see an owl like that you've never seen before, and then you see it once, or you've seen it like 3 times. And so it's, sorry, like people are messaging me, and it's just like dropping down my phone. And yeah, it was getting distracted a little bit this morning. Easily distractible this morning. So it could be animals, it could be something breaking, or like there are times where you're just like dropping everything, like, and if it's something like, if you're usually klutzy and like you normally drop things, like that is like, I'm not saying that, but it's like something like if you don't normally drop things and you start dropping things, like things start slipping out of your hands, you start spilling things, there is something being shown to you there. And so how do you decipher these messages? So sometimes it is a little challenging to decipher them. I have tarot cards, and so that is what I use to decipher them. And this is like using my tarot cards and my pendulum. I try to decipher the message of what I'm being shown there. At times that may not be clear, and because I am biased, right? I am biased to what I'm reading, and I may not see it clearly, or sometimes like the cards just don't make sense to what they're saying. So this is where I would like, go work with someone else who pulls tarot or does like Akashic Records reading, to find out what the message like the message that wants to be conveyed. If it is something like animals, for example, or certain other things, sometimes I'll Google it, like, oh, what is the spiritual meaning of seeing like a raven or an owl or a mouse or a bear. And so then once you start looking at, there'll be a message within that. And so those are like ways that you can tap in. Sometimes it is like maybe asking your audience too, like asking your audience on Instagram, being like what they think. I know with the cracks, there was like a follower of mine. She's a really awesome coach as well. And she responded, she was like, maybe cracks in the foundation or something along those lines. And I was like, okay, I'm like, this is like kind of pulling me towards to really look into this meaning of why I'm seeing all these cracks. And the reason was actually when I pulled the tarot cards and everything is basically my spirit guides just want me to cut down on the alcohol. And which is totally fine. I normally don't drink a lot, and like sometimes like just like once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm not like a huge drinker as I used to be. And so but lately in the past week and a bit, like it's been like every other day. And it's not that I've been getting drunk. It's just like a beer here, a beer there. And then like people messaging me, they're like, come to the brewery, let's go to the brewery. And so this was like basically the cracks actually started happening when I started drinking. So a little more often. And so that is basically my spirit guides just telling me taking a step back, because alcohol is low vibration. I'm not someone who's going to completely cut alcohol in my life, but it is a low vibration. And being a spiritual being, and I, desire to like tap into my soul's purpose and to like tap into a higher vibration. Sometimes like alcohol can block your intuition. It can make you not see certain things clearly that you're meant to see clearly, or it can also like block your creativity. And so there are like those kind of things that do pop up. And so that was a message. And so now I'm going to take this message and I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with it. I am going to cut it down, not completely cut it out, but cut it down and go back to like how I normally had, which was like once a week, once every 2 weeks, and see what comes up from there. So I wanted to share this with you because for me, paying attention to the signs outside in our environment is important. It is part of what I do on a daily. I notice things like, so if I see like a weird sign, I see that more than once. Like sometimes like on a billboard, for example, I'll see the thing on a billboard and then I'll see the same thing on an ad, like on my computer, and then someone talks about it. That's a sign. That's a sign like follow that. What does that mean? Follow that breadcrumb. Or if like more than one person mentions the same thing. So for example, somebody had invited me to be like, Julie, you should talk to this person here in town. Go speak to them. Like they may be able to help you with like housing and whatnot. And I was like, oh, okay, like they don't know me. Like as a projector, like I do feel sometimes we are just reaching out. And then there was one day where I was just like standing and somebody mentioned that, like somebody walked by me and mentioned their name. And I was like, oh, like, okay, I should follow that. That's a breadcrumb. And so those are like just giving you other examples of what like science like from the universe looks like. And so I did email the person, and I will be meeting them up this week for a coffee and see what comes out of that. I don't know, but just following the breadcrumbs, following the invitations, and seeing where they lead me. And if you are a generator or a Manny Gen, like the breadcrumbs is like something for you to respond to as well. Like, does this feel like something you desire to do? Yes or no? And so, yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Breadcrumbs are for like every type as well. Like not just like generators, Manny Gens, and projectors, but also manifestors and reflectors. So just when you see something more than once, question it, see what it is. And if you want to understand more of what the message is and you don't have tarot cards, you can like reach out to me and I can like, pull a few cards for you. and, you know, kind of let you know what the message is. Or you can reach out to another person that you do like tarot readings for, or someone who does like Akashic Records readings, like my sister. And so there's like many different ways that you can find out what message you are being shown, and then that will give you like the next steps to your journey, which is really cool. So that is day 70. I know I got distracted a few times during this live. Easily distractible this morning with my drop down messages. So I'm just gonna leave it. But anyways, if you like this video, please like, share, or comment, and I will see you tomorrow for day 71. Bye.